Arsenal fan Richie said,
Good morning, sir.
Kingslayer Slow said, Damn man.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, grasshoppers. What is cool is that our arenas show up right over here. That is very cool. Arsenal fan, good morning. Kingslayer Sloan. Proof of current unemployment. Oh, I'm so into that. What is it that you do, Arsenal fan? You don't happen to also do the other unemployed predominant form of work, which is YouTube editing. But I'm bummed. I think the music is a little loud. Let me just see here. Let's turn it down to a reasonable 62.
Said, I last worked in hospitality. Currently I am house hubby.
Oh, that's lovely. That's a pretty good profession, except when it gets demanding. Which it can. Obviously. How is the volume? Looks good. Very dark screen. Time for a new layout. Maybe I'll do that today.
Arsenal fan Richie said,
Yeah, when it gets demanding, I am pub hubby.
You play billiards too. A little bit of English 8-ball. I honestly can't go somewhere just to drink. I think it's part of the reason why. Good morning.
Arsenal fan Richie said,
I am decent at pool, not played for a few years though.
I just like our local pub. the one closest to me, at least has a pool table. I could see myself going in there to do some
Arsenal fan
billiards.
Richie said.
I am not clear in one visit standard, but 2 or 3 visits.
Kingslayer Sloan said. I can jog.
Yeah, I know you can. That was supposed to be a side-winded compliment. He turned his natural talents into YouTube editing.
Arsenal fan Richie said.
Kingslayer Sloan, hello dude.
I should look back in my follower thing. Not that it's a competition, but just to see who got here first, whether it was Kingslayer Sloan or Arsenal fan Richie. Both of them go back
Kingslayer Sloan
4 years, 5
said.
years.
Arsenal fan Richie hi.
My rating at least is normal. We have, by the way, loaded up our tournaments all the way to July 10th, July 12th. The birthday that I was questioning the other day is Rainier Castellanos.
Kingslayer Sloan
Rainier
said.
Castellanos
Fan Richie has no life.
is listed as July 13th on Wikipedia,
Kingslayer Sloan said.
but he's actually on July
Kingslayer
3rd.
Sloan said. JK. Arsenal fan Richie said.
And
How can you kill that which has no life?
A shot Anastasian used to be July 10th. I ran into it when I was penning him in for July 10th, and then I noticed that his birthday, amazingly, had been updated to July 16th, 1964. Of course, he died on December 25th.
Kingslayer Sloan said. You followed a day after.
No way.
Arsenal fan Richie said.
Quite young.
I should show all of those stats going all the way back. In 1 minute. This is the perfect pre-work, pre-school tool
Kingslayer Sloan
here in the United
said.
States.
John followed a day after rather John.
John followed a day after rather John.
All raiders from TKBTSX have joined.
Good morning,
Arsenal fan
TK.
Richie said.
Sounds like an English exam question. Kingslayer Sloan.
Kingslayer Sloan said. TK.
For those of you looking to get into
Kingslayer
this
Sloan said. Rather John
arena before it starts, the link
Arsenal
is right
fan
here.
said.
Hey TK.
Good morning, TK. He is part of the army, by the way. I was watching, in fact, I was doing a great bit the other day where Simon Pegg, I think I might have shared it to my story on socials, but Simon Pegg is also a part of the army, aka Simon. Simon Pegg, aka God, I can't remember what its real name is in the Mission Impossible franchise. What is Simon Pegg's name in the franchise? Cannot remember to save my life at the moment. I am FIDE trainer and National Master John MacArthur. Born in Denver, lives in New York City. I've lived in New York City since 1988. All right. GHM, he did not berserk, did he? Oh no, he berserked. Does he want me to berserk? Let's play something that he'll appreciate. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We're going to migrate quickly toward the king side. While we can. We're going to build up in the center the old-fashioned way. What? GHM. Now, on average, I do not berserk. And I feel terrible about opponents that berserk. Thinking that it's an absolute must that you must berserk and reply. If you're not already subscribed on YouTube, you do get the TTS on YouTube, so when I miss a statement, hope you had a great stream, TK. Just scrolling up to make sure he hadn't said anything. I did trick him into it. Just decided to gambit the e4 pawn. Don't know how much of a gambit it actually was. But GHM, we do not berserk. He has already finished 2 games. Oh no. GHM did not move against Arsenal fan, or did he? This is not a good sign. Do not berserk. Well, that's interesting. Should I? Should I amuse myself? I don't know. That was interesting. That was interesting. I'm not entirely sure that was the most sensible thing to do. If it weren't for the Banco variation, I would be playing the solution a bit more myself. Really? Do I need to do that? Let's keep it up. Interesting. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Yeah, I made a bad move on my part. Bad move. Yep. It has gotten much more interesting, as he is all in. Honey, I'm all in. This adds a bit of urgency. A little bit of urgency to the situation. Just a wee bit of urgency to the situation. What a terrible move on my part. Horrible game. Horrible, horrible game. Really? Let's migrate. We're gonna migrate toward the king side, just a wee bit.
Said. Hi, Master Chess Dojo.
How are you, Paul? Paul 184. We are nearly caught up. Might have gotten away with knight c5. I don't see the future in it, though.
Paul E. said. I am feeling stupid yesterday. I lost a game in 12 moves.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know that I would ever take it that personally, though. To be honest.
Arsenal fan.
I think the knight should have gone to this square.
Why did everyone pause?
That's a good question. This thing is so short. I think they're hitting and running for rating points, whoever paused.
Paul E. said. This is what I get for not spending enough time studying openings. Arsenal fan Richie said.
What did you get?
Arsenal fan Richie said.
Are you Gussie Gambit?
Can I do it this way? Or that way? I don't like it. Interesting. Now if I take, 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 take.
Arsenal fan Richie said.
QD1 might have been better.
Paul E said. YISNT Guyana playing in her arena.
Not everyone can play in their own arenas.
Paul E said. I played in my arena.
Well, not everybody gets the memo. Working the pawn and the queen. It's pretty amazing that he didn't see it going that way. What in the world? He paused as well. That enables the rematch. Let's go with this one. The Tony Miles, just for the English one, the Englishman. The Tony Miles, just for the Englishman. Can I?
Paul E said. Did Tony Miles eventually play for the US?
He did play in a US championship in 1989 or 1988.
Or am I thinking of someone else?
Let's just batten down the hatches just a wee bit. Can I? Can I? Who would have known that the rook could get to the 7th rank? Yeah, Tony Miles had only a post office box. Whoa. You have that, do you? We're gonna need to protect our pawn. And now we are protecting a lot. What in the world happened there? Knight to g5 has been played quite a bit. Interestingly enough.
Arsenal fan Richie said,
Well played.
The opening that helped me become a master in the first place. Isn't that fascinating? I want to think that it's okay now. as I try to. Can I do it that way? I don't think so. How do I get there from here? So yeah, that was also the opening chosen by Mark Arnold when he beat six-time U.S. champion Walter Brown, because we both knew that he was an expert in the Benoni, so we just basically said, let's just play. And we were very lucky. The Petrosian-esque. What a performance rating. Look at that, Arsenal fan popping up on the occasion. I'm thinking about it. I don't necessarily know that I have the time. I have to do a couple of things, but I will be back, Arsenal fan. I always have, getting back to this conversation, Arsenal fan just challenged to a 3+2.
Said. You seem
I
to
am
be playing
completely
in a different
focused.
stratosphere than you were recently.
I also have this problem in poker. I remember one particular day when I played the most ridiculous hands. And then the next day, I played another one-day tournament, and the same player who final tabled with me said, "You are not the same player that came yesterday." And I literally was plowing through everybody on the second day. On the day before, I had no idea what two cards at any given moment would be in my hand at the time that I was playing, which was both good and sad at the same time.
Arsenal fan Richie said.
I hope you know that I am gonna up my game for you the next few though.
All right.
Arsenal fan Richie said.
I am not content with getting battered like that.
Did we play 3 times? That was pretty ridiculous,
Arsenal fan
honestly.
Richie said.
You LL be calling me papa afterwards.
All right, pops. As a grandpops, that would make you a grandpapa, great grandpapa. Yeah, our score. Does it show the? Let's see. How does it do that? But you beat me 5 in a row. We gets 5 in a row. So the total for the last X is like 2, 4, 6, and you are still up like
Arsenal fan Richie said.
9.
Yeah, that SYIM irked that I lost 3 in a row.
Well, I do owe you a couple more in a row just to even the score. Even then, you'd still be +1 over the last, what is this, 15 games? Hold on here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So honestly, I've never actually prepared for anyone, not even Ron Hay.
Arsenal fan Richie, at least you didn't lose in 12 moves like I did.
You really have to let this go, Paul. You have to let this go.
Arsenal
You really
fan
do
Richie
have to let it go.
said.
IVE had a lost position after 12 moves OTB once Paul 1E4.
I'm sure that I've got at
Arsenal
least that
fan
many.
Richie
I'm
said.
sure that I've lost
I
and lost,
cashed
but
it
I
out
have
for
checkmated
40
in
or
4.
50, but was busted after 12.
How much time do I have? It's 8:06. All right. So yeah, getting back to the pub,
Arsenal
can't go to the
fan
pub
Richie
just to drink. I can't
You
go to the
got
pub just to
mated in
drink, and
4.
I very rarely can go to a
Said.
restaurant just to
I
have
can see that
tea
it, though I
and
am still
visit.
upset that I got only 2-5 against 1200s in a tournament in January of 2024.
What you have to do is look at the games of Tigre and Petrosian move by move, Paul. The games of Tigre and Petrosian move by move. This is actually the style that you need. And it would be the book was written by Enquist, I believe. If I can find it. Yeah, Thomas Enquist. So believe it or not, the first time I studied this book was at a time when I was relatively tight. This was well before streaming. The book had just come out. I'm going to decide what year it was. It was 2014. I remember I was at a low point in students at that time. And I just went into the Barnes & Noble and cracked this book open and went through it cover to cover. And there was one unique feature about all of these games, or many of these games, I should say, not all of them, is that they were all last round encounters. And they were all last round encounters where he had to win in the club.
Paul 1e4, you can do it, hard work is the only leverage.
Having to win in the clutch is key. But honestly, I was very happy with this 2,500 rated performance, thanks to Arsenal fan being in the mix.
Arsenal fan Richie said,
What hurts more than losing is losing to the Torre attack, possibly the worst non-nonsense opening in chess.
Oh, come on. What about the London? Come on. The Torre attack at least has teeth. The London is the Torre attack after castration.
Arsenal fan Richie said,
Strategically dubious.
I got it specifically from Petrosian. And it was the opening that helped me become a master. I should show the game where Mark Arnold beat Walter Brown as well. In fact, I should do a whole Mark Arnold series, just to let people know how strong he really is. Oh, and I also wanted to check to make sure that on my channel,
Arsenal fan Richie,
the streaming notification was put up.
Tries to fight the center and keeps their bishop
I don't think
doubles some pawns and gives away the center and their bishop
Mobot is putting up my streaming notification to my chat, which is really not cool. I have to actually look at it and make sure. Yeah, that's not cool at all. Okay, it is here at 7:15 a.m.
Arsenal fan Richie said,
Maybe I muted my own
to
notifications.
Salakai anyway?
It's showing that I started streaming at 7:15 a.m. this morning. So everyone should have gotten the notification who gets the notification. But meanwhile, if you've not yet subscribed,
said, congrats.
I don't know. I'm mildly worried. I think that Kingslayer Sloan had a line on him. But he did our patches, right?
Paul said, Zalakai is one in a long list of streamers who hasn't streamed in a long time.
Yeah, I hope they're doing okay. Obviously, real life gets in the way. Now, Diana Mirza has been streaming lately. Tomorrow, by the way, is a 2 for Tuesday. I'm going to make it a 2 for Tuesday as it's Peter Svidler's birthday. And on the same day, tomorrow, I'm hoping to stream both. We have the Tigre and Petrosian birthday Swiss. Again, the code is 2450 for those of you who are trying to get in late. Do not register in advance because if you are not present when the tournament starts, then doesn't work so well, basically. I don't want to even be in it because I don't want to be banned for 24 hours. So meanwhile, we're gonna raid Balloon. Let's give Paul his shout out. We've got all of his birthdays in place. And thank you everyone for being here. And hopefully I will see you tomorrow for the Petrosian
All
birthday
set.
Swiss.
Bye.
We're down to 6 or 10 viewers, I don't know. In all the confusion, I lost track. But Nightbot, Kingslayer Sloan, TK BTSXU, thank you for the raid. Cheers and ciao, everyone. If you've not yet followed TK, please do give him a love.